and he asked me about the wallet. I said, well, you should really think about doing self-custodial. I said, yes, I know, but it's so complicated because, in my mind, I can't teach 10,000 people how to download a wallet, open a channel. I can't do that. He told me, look, we had this thing called Breez SDK, which is very clever, it's super cool. And I was like, wow, this is a no-brainer.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shoot the Breeze, where we speak to the founders building on Bitcoin. Today, we have Matteo. He's the CEO and founder of Club Orange. Matteo, great to have you on the pod.
Danny, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
And so, for folks that are unfamiliar with Club Orange, could you introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Club Orange, it's a social network for Bitcoiners. Essentially, we don't want you to be lonely. We want you to go out, find events, find other Bitcoiners, find merchants, use the wallet to spend some sats and build this Bitcoin parallel economy. That's what we do.
And how did it all come about?
2021, I went to my first Bitcoin conference in Miami. For the first time, I met Bitcoiners in my life. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. I should meet more. As I was driving back home, I started thinking, there's got to be another way to find Bitcoiners in LA, right? 10 million people. There's got to be thousands of Bitcoiners. But there wasn't a way, obviously, because on Twitter, it's full of Bitcoiner, but you don't know where they are. And so a few months later, I finally got the famous bulb light moment, and I said, well, let's build an app with the geolocation, approximate chats, profiles, so people can find Bitcoiners nearby. So that's kind of I got the idea.
And so, you get the idea, you kind of roll it out. When did that kind of moment or that momentum kick off?
I don't think there was an inflection point, to be honest with you. It's been a grind for like 3 years and a half. It's funny because we launch, I will never forget. So you remember FTX blowing up on a Friday? We launch next Wednesday, which in retrospect was the best possible time ever to launch this thing. When the price is crashing from 69 to 16,000, nobody wants to hear about Bitcoin except other Bitcoiners. So we were just came in on the right moment. And, the first thing to know about Club Orange is completely paywalled. I thought about it, I said, well, the best way is to make everybody pay so they self-select themselves, right? So it's like $2 a month. It's not much, but it's not zero. On Club Orange, you can just see who's nearby. You can message them. Now we have events. Each event has a group chat. It's very developed. And so I don't think there was an inflection point. It's just been a slow grind for the past 3 years and a half.
Okay, and so initially you started off with a custodial wallet, right? And I assume so. So one of the reasons that you do that is because it's easy.
Well, let me tell you the story about the wallet. I think it's a good one. The reason why we had to launch the wallet is because 80% of the people on Club Orange, which again, everybody has to pay, they have never done a Lightning transaction. And at some point I was like, I can't teach 10,000 people how to download a wallet, open a channel. I can't do that. It's not scalable. So I need to put the wallet. Then Samurai, we stopped. The 2024 election, Trump won. Pro Bitcoin, free rolls, all that kind of stuff. So we launched the wallet on February. I will never forget the date because it's the day that my son was born. So I launched the wallet. So me and my wife, we launched something on the same day. She launched a baby and I launched a wallet. It was a busy day. I was literally at the hospital. I'm not joking. I was literally at the hospital and I pressed send the newsletter. So we launched February 2025. And then it took off immediately because what we have in Club Orange is the approximate location of the users. So we do this thing called geo-zapping. So for example, I could zap I'm in LA, I could go on the wallet, type London, New York, you can type a city, you can type a country, you can type a continent, and you just zap people there in their location, which obviously is something that only we can do. So it took off immediately. We have now done more than 5 million transactions in 1 year. And then, in the back of my mind, I always had this like, it's custodial, it's not the best. Then I went to El Salvador in January of 2026, so a few months ago, and I met your boss, Roy, from Breez. And I've met him before, but I met him again in El Salvador, and he asked me about the wallet. And I told him, yeah, it's going great, million plus transactions. I said, wow, you should really think about doing self-custody. I said, yes, I know, but it's so complicated because, in my mind, to be self-custodial, you need to open your own channels and run your own node. My user would never do that. I mean, 90% of them. And he told me, look, we had this thing called Breez SDK, which it's very clever, it's super cool. And I was like, wow, this is a no-brainer. Let's do it immediately. Thankfully, my developer, which it's in Europe, was also at the conference. So we had a meeting, me and my developer and Roy. We figured out everything in like 1 hour. And yeah, and then we launched the wallet April 8th, 2026. And now we're migrating people slowly. People have to update and get the new, they get the seed. So now the wallet is completely self-custodial. You have your own seed phrase in the wallet. You can take your Club Orange wallet, put it in one of, I don't know, 100 Spark enabled wallets. Um, and, same balance, transaction history. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So obviously I'm biased. I think it's amazing. But when so January to April, a couple of months, and obviously I imagine during that time it's about resources, about timing. How long did the actual integration take though?
So it's probably longer for us because, we have some features that are very unique, but probably a week or two, I guess.
Perfect. And so now, subsequently, what are we a week or so out from when you actually launched? What's been the feedback so far?
Everybody loves it. Literally, everybody loves it. Even actually, I was shocked to see how many people appreciate this, even though they never hold their keys, or they never run a Lightning node. Because I know, it's 90% of them. And I was like, maybe this thing for 10% of our user, they're really gonna love it, and 90% they not even care about it. Which is for me is the best UI, right? If you want, you can get your seed. If you don't want, obviously you should. If you don't want, if you don't know what to do, the wallet works just as fine. But the feedback was like overwhelmingly positive. This is out of tens of thousands of people, so that's incredible.
One of the things that I'm interested in is what do you hope that people start using it for beyond geo-zapping as well? Because I think obviously you want them to use your app continuously, but the beauty of open protocol is you can use it everywhere. So what's your kind of vision for both using the balance wherever, etc.?
My personal goal is that to build these local Bitcoin economies. So we have merchants on the app. We're ramping up the marketing and the onboarding of merchant. So we want to have thousands and thousands of merchants on the app where you can find them on Club Orange, and then you can go and spend from your Club Orange wallet, right? Super easy. The other cool thing that we're going to implement soon is the purchase Bitcoin from the wallet, which is obviously is really cool because in order to be a Bitcoiner, you must buy Bitcoin sometimes, right? Ideally every day or every month or whatever. And so for us, it's kind of like closing the circle because we have a joke internal that's like Bitcoiners want two things: more Bitcoin and more Bitcoin friends. That's it. And we can, we take care of the Bitcoin friends, but we can help you with getting more Bitcoin. Although in reality, if you're on Club Orange, you're gonna get sats every day because Geo's up and kind of stuff. But once we enable the purchase of Bitcoin through the app, thanks to the Breez Spark SDK and Light Spark and all the integration you guys have, then you kind of like you can get more Bitcoin and more Bitcoin friends all in one app.
Where do you see Bitcoin going? What would you like to see in the next year? And by that I mean, it sounds as though when you talk about merchants, a medium of exchange maxi maybe. So like, what do you hope to see for people subsequently either using Club Orange or Bitcoin in general?
I mean, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin must become medium of exchange to probably survive and definitely thrive. Yeah, so that's Square is doing amazing things in the US. They're enabling all these millions of merchants to take Bitcoin with one click, which is it's incredible. So that's gonna be, I think, the next few years is all about gonna be about these merchant adoptions, Bitcoin parallel economies growing, and we hope to play a big part on this new chapter of Bitcoin because we have the location of the user. Yeah, that's I think that's what's going to happen in the next few years.
Awesome. Okay. And then for folks that want to keep up to date with what's coming next for Club Orange, A, where can they find you? B, what can they expect coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Club Orange, of course. It's cluborange.org is the website. You can download the app Store, Play Store. You can find the app anywhere, essentially. What's coming next is, again, purchase of Bitcoin through the app. We're doing the onboarding, but this is technical stuff. And it's all about, again, it's all about merchant. This year we're gonna focus a lot about merchants adoption. So you can really, we have a map with all the merchants. We're gonna make it nicer and faster. And Yeah, these are the main thing. Again, merchants adoption and the ability to buy Bitcoin through the app directly.
I mean, it's perfect. I mean, literally, you've brought Bitcoiners together. You've made instant Bitcoin non-custodially, and you're now getting people to not only buy it but also spend it. So I think the full spectrum of human interaction is covered with Club Orange. So Matteo, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you about everything Club Orange, and folks now know where to go. Thank you for coming on. Shoot the breeze.
Thank you very much, Danny.